Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel, I hope you're all doing well. Yesterday, day off for Beppe, 15 di agosto, Ferragosto, for all the people that were celebrating Ferragosto, buon Ferragosto to all of you. But we have a lot of things to catch up with, a new number on a new player, a new number on a player that was already there. Pay attention, breaking news, anticipations, words of Scanavino, words of Thiago Motta, Koopmeiners, Nico Gonzalez, where are you? Federico Chiesa or Mckennie? There is one player that could have a total significant turnaround, the 360 turnaround about the decision of Juve. So many things to speak about in today's video, so I'm counting on you to do the basic things. Maximum of likes, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to share your opinion by using this comment section. You are doing a fantastic job. Day by day, the channel is going bigger and bigger and bigger, so continue to do with it. Ciao Juventini of the world! Again, I just tell you before starting the video, this is not the first time that I record a video, because of course I made a fantastic, beautiful video of 20 minutes, and then before starting to edit the video, there was no sound. I forgot to pay attention to the microphone. So this time I hope it will work. Disaster, and that's also why I will try to win some time. I will not edit the video, so forgive me about that one. The number 10, while I'm speaking, because I lost so many time, it could even be that the number 10 to Yildiz is official. I waited a bit this morning to have the official news. Juventus is waiting a bit. They are losing a bit of time, so I can already tell you. The number 10 is on the shoulder of Yildiz. And it was both things that needed to happen. The number 10 and the contract extension. Because if all the journalists they are telling you the number 10 will come to Juve, to Yildiz, I can already tell you not only the number 10 and contract extension. And I tell you, I'm extremely, extremely, extremely happy about that. Because it was not one of them. It was not here, the number 10, and we will discuss later about your contract. Or it was not contract extension, number 15 and the number 10 in the future. It was or both or nothing. Well, giving that number 10 and extended is the most beautiful message that you can send. Not to the tifosi, not just to supporters, but to the kids there in the youth academy that are dreaming about one day wearing that number 10. Like Alessandro Del Piero said when he left Juve, number 10 away from Juve. Are you crazy? The kids, they need to dream to one day being able to put that iconic number on their shirt. Why taking away that dream? Well, after Tevez, that was not the kid when he joined Juve. After Dybala, after Paul Pogba, we have now finally, I think, the real kid that is growing into the first team and able to take that number 10. And it would have been so wrong in terms of message to enter the season giving the number 10 and continuing the discussion with the new management of Kenan with Juve. I'm not agreeing on the salary. I don't agree on the length, but I'm not sure. I need a bit of time to think about it. Juve need to think. No, wrong. It needs to be extremely beautiful, fluid, without problems, putting aside all the doubt, because Juventus never had doubt about the player. The player never had doubt about Juventus. Then the salary parts, the management, probably they had a few. Putting them aside, we all agree and we start 24-25 because we believe in you, because you believe in us, and let's show that message to the kids that there are no problems. You join, you work hard, you believe, you have of course the talent as well, and you can do it one day. You can make it one day. Beautiful message. Am I now the guy that is saying, hey, I needed to prove a bit more before? No, guys. He will prove it. And at number 10, they will give him more responsibility, more awareness for a guy that wanted already to respect, that was already respecting our shirt. And he will respect it even more. He will honor it even more. And we will feel every single day in training session and on the field during the games, that responsibility of honoring the shirt. I'm happy. For me, the number 10, you need to respect it. From the moment that you put it on, you need to respect it with a perfect exemplary behavior. And that's what Yildiz will do. I'm totally confident about that. The other topics, we will speak about them in a second. But first of all, yes, we did it. We created for the third season. This season will be huge, will be big. GJustjuve League in the Serie A Fantasy League. Guys, the link is into the description. If you want to try to beat me this season, it will be impossible. I already told you, impossible, because I'm so well informed about not only Juve, but the other clubs, that I can tell you that this year I will destroy all of you, starting by match day 1. So be fast. Create your team, subscribe, and join our league. The link is in the description. Now that you did that, we continue with the other topics. The possible lineup of Monday, Juve Como, we already know it. Di Gregorio into the goal, Cambiaso, Gatti, Bremer, Danilo, Thuram in a 4-1-4-1, Weah, Locatelli, Douglas Luiz, Yildiz, and up front, Vlahovic. We will not have Koopmeiners, we will not have Nico Gonzalez, we will not have Conceição, Kalulu, all these players starting the game. Can one of them be on the bench? Who knows? Can one of them, or maybe two of them, be in the stands? Well, possible. We were just waiting for one thing. That someone was starting that domino effect. And that assist is maybe coming from Genoa. Genoa to Firenze. Firenze to Torino. Because today in Firenze, Fiorentina admin from the Twitter page, he posted a Iceland flag. Which means there is an agreement between Genoa and Fiorentina for Gudmundsson to go to Fiorentina to play with Palladino. Good news, not that I care too much about them, but for us, because that can finally give that green line for Nico Gonzalez that wanted to play Champions League, that wanted to wear our colors, the black and white, to give the green light to join us. Can it be this evening? Can it be tomorrow? We will follow that, but Nico Gonzalez and Juve, they found an agreement. Juve and Fiorentina, they found an agreement. They were just waiting for Gudmundsson to be freed up by Genoa. First domino effect launched. Now, Juventus, there was a block in the domino effect with Atalanta for Koopmeiners, because not only they were waiting for a sub of Atalanta, but on top of that, they were still waiting for Atalanta to agree on the money. 50 plus 5 was refused again. And that's why Juventus yesterday, during Ferragosto, they increased their bet to 52 plus 7, which will bring us, if all the bonuses are reached, to a 59 million euro offer. Atalanta, they wanted 60, and that's what they will about to have. From 59, 60. Too much? Yeah, too much. Of course, too much. I told you, 45 would be the right price for the Dutchman. 50 is already a stretch. 55 is way too much. That's what I always told you. So if you tell me that 55 is way too much, 60 it's incredible. It's way too. I would never have given 60 million. But Juventus made a promise to turn Koopmeiners. That is waiting. That is even going in sickness leave because he want to wear the black or white. Juventus made a promise to Thiago Motta, the first player that he requested, even sacrificing a name like Calafiori, even sacrificing a lot of other targets. The first name, AAA objective was turn Koopmeiners. To turn to Thiago Motta, but indirectly also to you. Because after collapsing and losing a Calafiori, giving up on a Calafiori, losing a Todibo, well, Juventus, they didn't want. They didn't want to make another deal collapse. So they made a promise to you. They made a promise to Beppe. We will make sure that this deal will be 100% done deal yet. We do everything that we can, even if we have to go towards the 60 million that they were requested. The beautiful thing is that not only Juventus and Atalanta now, they found an agreement on the price tag because Atalanta agreed, but also Atalanta found a possible B solution. After O'Reilly difficulties with Celtic, they could possibly go on a next target of Juve. So after not going to Inter, not going to Napoli, not even going to Juve, Samardzic could go from Udinese to Atalanta. And also they're freeing up turn Koopmeiners. But pay attention. If I tell you that 99.9% turn Koopmeiners will join Juve, not only, because the number 7 is already freed up for turn, there is that 0.01. Not West Ham. Not West Ham. But the timing could be important. Because Giuntoli and team, they don't want to go beyond this weekend before having that final offer. I'm not saying physically turn in Torino before the weekend, but at least the administrative part, the papers, the really important things, the thing that matter the most, these things need to be done before Juve Como, or at least have the triple whistle of Juve Como, not later. Let's see if it will happen or not. I'm extremely confident about that one. Not only Koop and Nico, Thiago Motta is waiting for, but he's also waiting for other players like Conceição. Conceição will be after the 2 first names secured. Let's see if we will have the possibility to unlock that situation. Another priority is Kalulu. And if we can play without Kalulu against Como and against Verona, well, we can also possibly play without Kalulu for the rest of the season. Because if he's not sure yet, If after the 2-3 days that passed since we were speaking about Kalulu, he didn't find 100% conviction to join Juve, then we have a problem. And Juventus is starting to lose a bit patience on Kalulu. They really start to be a bit losing patience. So, or today he says yes, and I'm 100% convinced because I spoke with Fonseca, I spoke with Thiago Motta about my role, about everything that you are expecting from me, and I join Juve, or over, because Juventus, and you will hear it later with the words of Scanavino and Thiago Motta, they want players that are convinced, that has human values, that believes in Juve, more than talent, which is important, but also conviction, like the sparkling eyes of Cabal, like Koopmeiners that is refusing everyone, like Nico Gonzalez that want to play the Champions League with Juve. Well, all these kind of things are extremely, extremely important for Juve. So if Kalulu is not certain, arrivederci. Arrivederci, ciao, it was nice to speak to you, it was a beautiful possibility, but it's over. So let's see about Kalulu if yes or no. Otherwise we have probably a problem, because not A, not B, not C plan, but we'll find an alternative. Now, about the other things that I wanted to speak with you, we have, for one player, a huge big turnaround, crazy, not expected, and for another one that people were hoping and still waiting for, is going the other side. It's even worse. Start with the good, possibly good news. Weston McKennie reintegrated in the team. Done deal? No. But, or it already happened, or it will happen in the next few hours. Weston McKennie will have a discussion with Juventus management, or already had a discussion with management, where they will put aside, or try to put aside, all the things that has been said in last 2 weeks, and that were real. The collapse deal of Aston Villa, refusing all the other teams, asking Juve for a huge exit strategy in terms of bonus money to leave Juventus, him being in a way hurt in his ego, in his feeling by Juventus not giving him a raise, etc., etc. We all know the story of Weston McKennie. Well, probably Weston McKennie, he realized, he understood that he was probably exaggerating a bit, and that probably in a moment of competitiveness and sustainability, he understood that probably even after one season of beautiful performance of Weston McKennie, he was doing maybe a bit wrong. He was probably exaggerating a bit. Probably he went to Juve saying, I'm sorry, I understand the situation, I exaggerated. Can we again find a way to be together? Because I want to stay at Juve. Yesterday we heard some rumors of him being offered to Fiorentina. We heard some offers from Inter Miami, from Galatasaray, from Fenerbahce. We heard a lot of things, but it could be that the non-expected, that something that was impossible could happen with the same conditions of what has been proposed and refused by Weston McKennie. So what do we see here? What do we learn? That if a player understood then the moment they want to go and give a hand to Juve, Juventus would be possibly open to give a hand back and to find a new deal. Then, of course, I have all my questions, but where do you play him? If you have an Adzic, a Miretti, Fagioli, Locatelli, Thuram, Douglas Luiz, maybe a Koopmeiners, it's a lot of players. Probably tactically we'll see, but it's a player that we know it, extremely versatile, something that Thiago Motta loves. These kind of availabilities to sacrifice themselves to play, even being a good rotational player. And that's the big difference. Not anymore a key player, a starting player, but a rotational player for €3 million. Guys, I'm not saying no, even if I need to understand a bit better. But that situation, that handshake from the player to Juve to say, scusatemi, I'm sorry. So we saw that these hands were here, were quite far away, and they met each other. Well, the hands of Juve and Federico Chiesa that were already far, well, they are going even out of screen at the moment. Why? Because if Chiesa was not called up for the friendlies and was publicly out of the market, Scanavino even said it. Why lying? We respect also the intelligence of our opponents. We know the intelligence of the competitors. They know the situation. Federico Chiesa was out of project, so it made no sense to start lying about it. We made it public. He was still training with the team. Well, since yesterday or 2 days ago, the news break out that Federico Chiesa is not even training with the team anymore, but he's training with the people that are absolutely out of project. The Deschilios of this world. So what do we understand now? That instead of going closer, well, we went totally away. With Federico Chiesa, that probably didn't give the hand, didn't come back on the initial request of €9 million to Juve to extend with Juve, contract spoken about in the month of October, didn't came back, didn't say, I exaggerated, ego was too big. And you will understand that probably Scanavino is send a strong message to Chiesa and entourage in a few moments when we'll speak about his words. First, Thiago Motta in a second, touching yesterday, interview really fast to Sky Sport, where his beautiful costume, suit was beautiful, but he said, it's my idea of football didn't change. From the one of Bologna to Juventus, it didn't change. It's not because I'm at Juve that my idea, my vision is changing. So we can expect also that idea of football. But pay attention, because he said also, it's not my Juventus. It's our Juventus. And I love these words. When you start with these things, it's not the Juve of Thiago Motta. It's the Juve of all of us. We flop together or we succeed together. I love these kind of things. But he said even more. He said, the football, my vision, my idea, il bel gioco, the beautiful football that a lot of people are expecting. I always told you, when you're speaking about beautiful football, it's important to understand what is beautiful football. I have always chosen for the Post Allegri, Thiago Motta, for one big word, balance. And yesterday he repeated, he said, my understanding of beautiful football is a team that has balance. A team that is defending a lot together in a block, but loves and wants to have that ball and then attacking together. So we go from a Max Allegri that was a balanced coach, but probably a balanced minus, because before everything, it was a balance in not conceding. Even if you had to give the ball to the opponents, but not conceding, balanced minus. We go towards a coach that is thinking about balanced plus, balanced offensive. We all defend together as a group, we recuperate that ball, we keep the ball because la palla al centro del progetto, the ball at the center of the project, and then we all attack together. So that's a bit the explanation of Thiago Motta about that. A lot of words on Vlahovic as well. He's expecting a lot from him. And these words will come back, otherwise the video will be way too long. And also Douglas Luiz. Depends a lot of him, but he's counting a lot of Douglas Luiz. Also there, we will come back on the words on Douglas Luiz from Thiago Motta, because I want to speak a few moments about the words of Scanavino about Juventus. La nuova Juve, the new Juventus. He spoke about Thiago Motta. He said, I was surprised about the way how Thiago Motta is choosing players for his system, for his team. Because I am a fan of football, said Scanavino. Of course, I work in football. I have other roles. I'm not an expert alla Giuntoli, alla Thiago Motta. I love to learn from them, to speak with them, to understand how they see things. Spoke about Giuntoli, spoke about Thiago Motta, but he said, what impressed me a lot was the way how Thiago was choosing players. He said, of course, he's looking for talent. Of course. But if I, personally, Scanavino, I'm looking at la magia, the skill, the movement, the thing that we all love from a player. Wow, he dribbled a man, he shot, he scored a beautiful goal. Thiago Motta is looking for talents, yes, but also is looking for availability of a player, efforts of a player, personality of a player, and versatility. 4 words that are not shocking. We already spoke about it. It's not a surprise for us. But then he continued, the attitude and collaboration of all of them individually to form that team. And I started, when I read the article, entire article, to say, is it in a way a message to Chiesa and Co that are not part of the project, a lot of them? Well, when you continue to read the article, it is clearly, according to me, interpretation of Beppe, a message to Chiesa. Because you really see at a certain moment here why Mckennie could possibly find an agreement again with Juve and Chiesa not. Because he said, what is making our decision true is the way of playing, so la formazione, the model, the 4-2-3-1, 4-1-1, 3-5, whatever, important, the choices of the coach, the human factors, and the economical factors. And if on Western Mckennie the economical factors has been found again correctly, and it was just the human part, if he extends, of course, if he continues with you, it was just the human part that needed to be spoken about on Federico. Not only the economical part has not been met, and there is no chance that they will be met, but also the human part is at the moment not inside. Then, on the 31st of August, we can have another discussion with Chiesa if he's still there, but at the moment, further and further away. What I also love, and these are the last words about it, because I want to deep dive in Scanavino's new Juve in a second video, maybe today, probably not tomorrow, let's see. But it's also the way of willing to continue to invest on and off the field. Being aware that closing the gap with the fatturato, with the revenues of Real Madrid and the 4 or 5 top teams of English Premier League will not happen anytime soon. Maybe in a long future, maybe with something crazy. But we continue to invest on the field, continuing to want that competitiveness on the field, because that's Juventus. Juventus always need to be able to compete, but on top of that, also a Juventus that is investing off the field, like for example, creating the new stadium for Juventus Next Gen and Juventus Women. So beautiful things, a Juventus that continue to believe with the same ownership on competitivity, sustainability, but sustainability can't be an excuse to not succeed. Succeed is Juventus. Grazie for following the channel, you were just fantastic, grazie, forza, Juve.